This idea of toxic masculinity, I think, is conflated with the absence of true divine masculine energy. In fact, it's very difficult to see examples or practical outlets for men to express this, natural predisposition we have to yang energy, the yin to the yang. So what I thought I would do is take you through 8 different ways in which I feel you can express true, divine, righteous masculinity in the world today. We are going to start off with number 1, which is practicing full physical exertion. It really bums me out whenever I go to the gym. I see people half-arsing their workouts. They're on their phone, they may be, bopping along to their music, which is all well and true, but there is a lack of exhaustion. There's a lack of exertion. There's a lack of real intention behind why they're there in the first place. It's not to listen or reply to your grinder, your grinder messages or your Tinder messages. It is to do the hard work, get shit done. So I really feel there is a lack of intensity, especially in workouts. So for men, this is one of the easiest avenues in which we can start to express this kind of natural masculine drive for, getting the work done, getting the bread, getting the money in a more controlled way, which is a prelude to number 3. So definitely compound lifts, your bench press, your deadlift, your squats, of course, but actually pushing yourself to the fullest of your intensity. I mean, there are some workouts where I've vomited, like fully thrown up. Now, I'm not saying that that's a good thing to do, but I'm saying that there is a calmness, a stillness, a tranquility, a real mental benefit to pushing yourself right to the end of what you're capable of. So it's closely linked to things like optimizing your testosterone, so boosting your testosterone, sweating out the stress that you have. Your dickhead boss is telling you that you need to stay late to finish those files. And it all helps boost this natural energy that we have in men. So next time you're at the gym, don't go in there. Don't leave, in fact, thinking, oh, I could have, pushed myself with an extra set or an extra rep. Is earn your sleep. Push yourself to the end. Sweat blood if you have to. You will feel more the better for it, I promise you. Number 2 is practicing embracing your inner animal. I have a real problem with the state of modern men. They're all pruned and very pretty and smart and very neat and tidy, where, there's nothing intrinsically wrong with that. I just think we've lost our connection to that inner animal, to dirt, to, ground and gravel and rock and earth. And I really feel like many men are afraid nowadays to do some of that hard work. I remember when I was at university, I had a part-time job working at a farm with some of my friends, and we were digging up trees. There were these I think they were bonsai trees, but they were very, very expensive trees, and we had to remove these trees, get them out of their roots, pack them up to be cut. And it would take hours and hours and hours to break the roots with the spade. And you're getting dirty, you're getting, dirt under your fingernails, you're sweating, you feel, again, uncomfortable. But there's something really primal about it, so engaging. I think, again, it speaks to you on a very intuitive level if you are a man about doing the hard work, getting things done. And again, tying back to the first point, exerting yourself to a capacity where you're tapping in to that primal blood, your primal DNA. So I really feel like a manual labor job, or just getting into nature and getting your hands in the dirt and in the earth, which is alive, is something revitalizing and rejuvenating to your inner masculine energy. Number 3 is controlled aggression. Now, there's a theme throughout this, being the masculine, the aggressive, the yang energy. But the third practice is to engage that animal aspect of you, but in a controlled environment. So the perfect example of this is martial arts. When I was younger, my dad made me do judo, because he was a karate black belt, and he was like, you're doing some form of martial art. It's going to be so good for what's going on here, but also what's going on here in that animal stage. You need to develop the ability to be aggressive, but control it. You need to be dangerous, but control it. It's what Jordan Peterson always talks about. You have to be a monster, but you have to learn to control it. You have to be, a warrior, but learn how to keep your sword sheathed, but ready for battle when you need it. And no example is greater than judo, karate, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, any of the martial arts for taming that animal. So if we are going to the latter point of, embracing the animal, now we need to tame it. Now we need to discipline it. Now we know how to use it efficiently, effectively, and intelligently. Number 4 is having periodic guy time, or let's say celebrating your masculine essence. When I know that sounds so LA, so like cliche. But I really think it's important for men to spend time together and do physical things, play sports, maybe go out in nature, go on to camping trips, go on retreats, meditation, and really, I know it's cliche and trite, but celebrate your masculine energy. Talk about, the importance of, why that energy is so missing in the world today and why it's so important, and how you can express it in more, healthier ways. Inspire other men who have maybe lost touch with that primal animal inside of them, and again become too pruned, too clean, too neat, and too domesticated in the modern world we see today. So get your boys together and play some rugby, play some volleyball on the beach. Get into nature, get into your animal. I think it's so important and should be celebrated. Number 5 is reconnecting with nature. Now this is something that I've had personal struggles with because I've been lazy, to be quite transparent with you. But it's something that there's never been a time that I've regretted getting up early in the morning and going out into nature. I live on the south coast of England, so I'm right on the doorstep of the beach, and you get these beautiful sunrises. You feel the wind on your skin, sharp and it's aggressive and it's brash. You go into the cold water. I've been doing cold water exposure now, and there's something so rejuvenating, revitalizing to that process of actually going out into the world, going out into earth, going back into the roots from when your ancestors were, living in the forest and in caves and in huts, and back to this very earth and undomesticated way of life. And we're all trapped inside in the winter, shielding ourselves from the cold. We've got heating on indoors, we've got TV, we've got Netflix, we're nice and cozy. But going out into that world, there's something about sharpening the knife is what you're doing when you're actually going out there, and you're wrestling with it, you're fighting it, you're tussling with it. And I don't think there's that's been something for me that personally hits home, especially the cold exposure. And going into discomfort is another way you can look at it, and I think that's essential. I think that's essential for reigniting that masculine passion that we all have deep inside of us. Number 6 is practice diaphragmatic breathing and meditation. Now, we've talked about the kind of yang aspect to masculinity, which is go out there, go get them, fight, get the money, and so on and so forth, which is very, very important. But rarely do we consider the rest period to that, and it all starts with meditation. It all starts with coming back home to equilibrium, composure, and to be able to go out into the world from that point of balance, essentially. So meditation has been completely life-changing for me. It's allowed me to execute and become more and have more conviction in doing some of those masculine tasks from a place of composure. I mean, we talked about martial arts, especially Brazilian jiu-jitsu. There's a big community that understand and recognize the importance of breathing, of deep breathing, of learning how to stay in control and relaxed under duress, under stress. It's so essential for a man to have that emotional control, so he's not outbursting. This is toxic masculinity. A man who can't control his masculine energy. If you ever see a man who's very, very reactive and can't control his emotions, that's where the term comes from. But a true masculine man knows how to discipline it, control it, breathe through it, see it as something separate to himself, and allow himself to be molded and use it intentionally rather than that emotion using him. So practice that deep breathing, that yin, that meditation, that diaphragmatic breathing is so essential to moving in this direction. 7 is seeking out danger and winning. Men need challenges. Many people, many men think they need comfort. You don't need comfort. It's a trick, it's a trap. It's something that will kill you very, very slowly. What we need is evolution. What we need is something that we need to overcome. What you need is meaning. What you need is a problem that you can overcome, that you can solve, that you can create some kind of order, structure, and direction around. That's how men thrive. Men built this world. Men built, the houses that we live in. Men built the industries that support us through, food and commerce and so many other areas. And it all starts on overcoming challenge of, we don't have a warm place to sit and, be shielded from the harsh environments of the winter and the rain and the snow. So we need to come up with something to combat that and ultimately give the world a solution. And this can be anything from the physical ones that we've talked about, or the more mental ones, problem solving, maybe building businesses. And it can also boost your confidence because you have a better way of addressing and overcoming the natural problems that the world will throw at you. And there's nothing more masculine than that, in my opinion. Number 8 is prioritize your health, prioritize your well-being, prioritize your self-care and self-improvement. And this can be done through some of the trite things like making sure that you're eating clean, making sure that you're physically exerting yourself, making sure that you are also getting enough sleep, making sure that you are continuously working on how to develop your intellect, how to develop your social skills, how to develop, being a philanthropist and giving back to the community that you were born in. And I think this is a nice little neat ribbon on everything that we've spoke about so far. But I think ultimately a masculine man understands the value of their own health and vitality. It's not losing ourselves in indulgence. Indulgence and pleasure has a place, but I think if you give too much attention to that, you will lose ultimately the highest value, which is your vitality, which is your ability to take care of this meat suit and this navigation system that we have been given, because they are the greatest gifts from God. And we should celebrate them. We should be grateful for them. We should, and you exercise that through some of the things I've mentioned previously. So gentlemen, these were just 8 really, really important facets I think are integral to revitalizing and reigniting your masculine energy. For me, a big one does stand out in grounding myself in nature and getting back into the harsh environments of the world. I'd be interested to hear which ones really stand out to you. Maybe it's practicing that controlled rage, that controlled aggression by practicing martial arts and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and karate and judo and Muay Thai and all these other things that can readdress this narrative and this discourse between toxic masculinity and what's full, mature, divine, generative masculinity. And guys, let me know if I've missed anyone that you think is really important for other men to know. But with that being said, if you found anything of value here, take it with you. If anything wasn't, discard it. And like I say, I'll bring you something else very, very soon. Take care.